Hello world. It's about 10:40 here in Oxford on January the 10th. And I was just, I know it's a little late, but I decided to go ahead and let you know about my day here in the city at the school. So in the morning we had our teacher's husband come in again and talk to us about syllogism this time, which was neat. That's more symbolic logic. I was more informal logic in my philosophy studies. Since I'm a major, I don't know if I've mentioned that before. Philosophy, English, double major. Anyway, so it's been really cool these last couple of days to get the whole theological, philosophical aspects of what we've been reading in, and I think it's actually kind of made me enjoy Carroll a bit more, just to think about his work in those ways, in that way. I guess the other one was also Lewis. I think I enjoyed it more thinking about it in theological ways, and actually, oddly enough, more defending it than I thought I would, just because I'm of the mindset of let writers what they want to, write what they want to write. But other than that, our big thing for the day was we took a tour around Oxford, and the gentleman who wrote Alice in Waterland took us around, mostly, excuse me, to the Christchurch Meadows. So we'd gone to visit Christchurch already, but we hadn't gone in basically the park surrounding it. So that was cool. Saw lots of different waterways. And his book discusses about how the river Cherwell, I think it's pronounced Cherwell, and then the Thames, how those influence Carroll's writing of Alice in Wonderland. And it's really interesting. They both kind of intersect in that area, and since Carroll worked at Christchurch, it was very cool to see, how close by everything was, and how it all really did relate to his writing. It was very cool. I was a little. I looked online because I wanted to learn more about the book and see how well it was received, and it turns out that the guy kind of does this tour anyway. So I thought it had been really impressive that St. Clair's had been able to get the author of this book to show us around this area that related so much to what we were studying. But it's kind of a thing he does already, which isn't a bad thing. It was just, I thought, oh wow, they really pulled some strings for us. But it's really just he does this all the time. Though I think the next trip we're doing is to the Jericho area, which is very different from the kind of university area that we're nearer to and around. And so I think I didn't see that listed when I saw the tours he offered. So I think that's more of the pulling the strings, getting him to show us around as well. And it also sounded like he's written multiple books, and so it sounds kind of like the next book he's working on is what he described as like the gown and town of Oxford. And so the gown is obviously the universities and things like that. And then the town is the people who worked at the universities who weren't professors, the servants, the cooks, things like that. People who worked at shipyards and all that. So that should be interesting to hear him kind of talk about that, because he actually brought that kind of concept up a lot. And so I think he'll be expanding on that more on the next trip. I got to stop by an Alice in Wonderland shop, which was cool. I was able to grab some things in there, gift-wise for people. So prepare yourselves, people I know well. I also went to Oxfam today, which is a charity organization. We have Oxfam in America as well, but I didn't know that it originated in Oxford. I think it's like the Oxford Famine Relief. And so it was much colder today. It was cold last night when we had that dinner, and then it was much colder today than it had been most of the week here. And so I didn't bring a scarf or anything like that. My neck was getting really cold, so I actually went and got a scarf. It was like £7, so very inexpensive. I think that equals around maybe like $11, $12-ish dollars. So not a bad price, for a good, heavy Oxford scarf, as it were. So that was cool, and walked around with that today and was perfectly fine. Um, so yeah, tomorrow I think we're going to the Kilns, which is where C.S. Lewis lived. So be prepared for that. I took a bunch of pictures on this tour as well, so I'll be uploading those probably tomorrow since it's so late already now. And then probably pictures from the Kilns trip as well, and then the journals that I read about that. So anyway, have a good night, day, whatever you're doing, whatever time you're watching, I mean, and see you later.